You. All right, next item is mayor's report. A couple things that are not written down here, but as you guys all know, we're a week behind in our normally scheduled council meeting. We were supposed to be here last Tuesday, but as we all know, we went through, I guess, what they call a double deratio. It was, we've learned new words this past year.
What is that?
Polar vortex and double
It's
duration.
a really bad story.
Real high winds.
Street wind. One is the other.
Right. But one thing I really want to highlight throughout this whole process is we all know the heavy storm came through about 10 o'clock last Monday night. One of the things that was very well evident was our emergency crews, not only our police, fire, but especially our resident. As soon as the storm passed, was out there and about, and I was out there too, and seeing them all out there, assessing the damage, not only from their standpoint, but also from the standpoint of our water plant, our wastewater treatment plant. All available hands were available, that were available to be available were out there. And at no time throughout this entire process was any of our utility services, our water and our wastewater especially, at any real serious risk to the public. The guys were on top of it from the standpoint, I think our Jack, our water department superintendent, at 1 o'clock in the morning was calling up Sunbelt to make sure that generator was there prior in the early morning. Even though we still had 60% reserves in our tanks, we were plenty well stocked with water. In fact, the water guys that night had anticipated this potential storm coming, and had actually kind of put a lot of water in our towers and filled up our towers before this storm came. The communications between all our department heads, as well as police and fire and ESTA, was excellent. They were on top of things. Challenge we had was we had numerous trees down, numerous power lines down, which resulted in numerous road closures. But that was also communicated among all the department heads, and the emergency personnel were aware those closures were. The challenge was getting ComEd out here. As we know, this I don't know how, they said from Morris down south of Wilmington all the way to the state line was the extent of this damage. Over 400,000 people without power. But we were on top of everything. From a city standpoint, we have what they call a external affairs manager with ComEd. We're in contact with them all the time, regardless if it's emergency or non-emergency. We always have communications with them. ComEd also established what they call the JOC, which is a Joint Operational Plan, which is something that they hadn't had in the past. This was the first time they activated the JOC, which was out of, for this area, was based in Joliet. The challenge was there seemed to be a disconnect between our external affairs manager and the JOC. That became even more evident, I believe, Wednesday afternoon after the conference call, at which time I drove up to the JOC myself to kind of reiterate the damages, the extensive damage that we had in this area. That was proceeded. I think we have most of the towns without power, but probably Thursday afternoon. We had pockets coming in. It got serious enough that we actually invited the vice president of ComEd out here Thursday to see the extent of damage. He came out here Thursday, got a really first-hand look at what we went through. And, everything came in place. I think the amount of crews that they had out there and the extent of damage had really caused them a shortness of crews. In fact, I think many people, some of the people talked to the crews who were out here from everywhere from Montana to Massachusetts to Kentucky. We're out here working on our crews Thursday. I think we had over 18 crews here Thursday working on our power line damage. But all in all, everything's doing fine. We still have leaves to pick up, or brush to pick up. Our city crews doing a hell of a job right with that. But they still do have areas they need to get to. It'll take a little bit, but they'll get them. They continue to work hard, as well as everybody. Even from the wastewater treatment plant, they had run that generator a lot longer than we wanted to. Even when we had power, we still had some power issues, so we got that straightened out. But I just want to say kudos to all the city crew, all the city staff, for everything that they've done to make sure we were on top of everything throughout this whole storm. Hopefully we don't have to see another one anytime soon. So it was good to, it's good to see everybody come together. I mean, not only just with that, but just with neighbors. Even myself, I had a neighbor 2 houses down that had a generator, and we had extension cords going throughout the neighborhood to ensure that everybody was plugged in, saved their fridge. So not only neighbor for neighbor, but even, you know, business. We got businesses in town, Evans Lawn and Garden, Whitmore's, Sippies, that even though they didn't have power, they were there to help their customers in any way they could. So it was good to see, and that's what's, you know, really important in a small town. So. But again, thank you for everything. The next thing, I have two things.